Hey guys, welcome back to the Musings&Review channel. I'm your host Maverick, and today we're going to be continuing our watch of Your Lie in April with episode 3. So, last episode, well, we were introduced to kind of the start of this anime, right? Still don't know much about what the actual story is going to be. My best guess is that Kaori, the violinist, and who's I calling it? Kosei, the pianist, they are going to form a duo and enter some sort of competition, right? At least that seems to be how the story is going. It makes logical sense seeing the competition from last episode. As for the actual story itself, what it's going to be about, still no big idea. I will say, however, that, regardless of how the story turns out, already, just by the world and animation and the artistic styles of this, I'm already loving this very much. And the character, especially Kaori, is super likable as well. So I'm looking forward to this. And since there's not really much else we can know right now, I'm just gonna pop into the episode right now. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. That looks nice. So are they sort of like on a date right now? Oh, that was quite early. And we've seen this already, so as much as I like this song, let's just skip this to save some time. And begin. That's how she wrote. Alright. Not quite the best translation there. I mean, these two things aren't mutually exclusive. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? What everybody learns as their first song in whatever instrument. That's actually a little bit more advanced as well. Not just the very basic Twinkle Twinkle Star. See? She knows! She knows his identity. Like, people who have their sights on becoming a classical musician, probably it's a pretty small circle. There's no way that she doesn't know who he is, if he was such an accomplished pianist. Huh. Not singing the Japanese version. Ooh. Props to the little kid for not getting phased and still playing along. So, is it actually a trauma, or does he actually have some sort of um, injury with his hand? Oh yeah, she likes cats, right? We saw that in the first episode. A human metronome. Yeah. What? 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 This has to be mental, right? Mm-hmm. This is quite a nice soundtrack as well. Nice. Eh, there we go. I do wonder if, like I said last episode, I do wonder if he was her target all along. I'm actually not familiar with that. Yeah, because to her, she just wants him to play again, right? I feel like that's kind of her thing. So are they gonna ambush him? Basically, like forcing you to. There they are. Even in his house? Nice. Holy crap, this is a hard piece. Wow. I mean, it sounds kind of familiar, but I'll be honest, I don't have much knowledge about this piece. Yeah. She just likes to watch him shine. Yeah. Okay. Something at a hospital? Still last minute, isn't it? And she is one determined girl. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious from the beginning she doesn't really care whether she wins or not. I mean, 'What?' 'Oh. Huh? うん。So if being the hard method doesn't work, use the soft method. Whoa. Well, leave it to the athletic too. And is he literally... Are you serious right now? Well, that is youth. Alright. Interesting episode. I'll see you guys after the ending. And well, there we go. As I said, Kari definitely already knew of Kosei before before the entire thing, right? So definitely she was putting up an act of some sorts when she first met him, right? You know, friend A or whatnot, whatever. But all right, let's talk about that a little bit later. Let's get the music out of the way first, right? That is an important part of this anime. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually know of Saint Sans that well. Like, I'm not exactly a classical music buff, nerd or whatnot. I just happen to have played violin before for quite a few years. But definitely, it's not something I actively seek out to and have an encyclopedic knowledge of. And I will say, also, it's definitely not something that most amateur players would encounter, if you will. Like, just to give a quick sense of how it actually works in terms of progression, at least for the violin. So when you're starting out, you probably would play something like some readings or some Vivaldis, and sort of like that kind of stuff, right? And then as you gradually progress along, that would be like in the low tier, right? I mean, obviously, it's not something that you just play when you're starting out, but I mean, relatively new, right? And then once you get to the mid part, that's when you start getting the Bachs, the Mozarts, the Beethovens, the Brahms, and I believe that's also where the Saint Saëns works lie as well. Now, obviously, this is a generalization. I'm not saying that without they only their difficulty level only resides in this particular part. It obviously fluctuates depending on the different works, but I'm just saying that for most people, the progression level would go something like this. That's when you would start encountering some works by this composer. And then, of course, at the very top, you got the Paganinis, you got the Tchaikovskys and whatnot, and so on and so forth, right? So that is generally just pretty much the pinnacle of violin pieces, which is why I said, I do hope that we can get some Paganini in here, since it doesn't really seem like a competition if there's no Paganini. I'm just saying. But even without knowing any works from Saint Saëns. Oh, and by the way, just by this, you can probably also infer what my level was. I got to here. I was just about to get to here. I believe I did play some works by Bach and Brahms or whatnot, but Saint Saëns is definitely a little bit more up there, if you will. But anyways, even though I haven't really played, or I guess haven't really heard his music before, just from the title, I think we can guess what the piece is actually going to be like, right? Capriccioso, which is I guess its root word is probably capriccio, which is a type of music. Generally, it means that it's going to be very fast, very intense, very powerful. It's definitely not the graceful kind of music, which is okay, because that suits Kaori, right? As we've seen from the past episode as well. Probably the most famous capriccios are by Paganini, if you will, his caprices. Yeah. So anyways, and that's just another example of why I do expect to hear some Paganini by Kari in the end. Although, I guess that's not quite a given considering the skill level, but this is an anime, so they can do what they want, right? Um, and also, I believe we heard some a brief sample of some other pieces from the other competitors within the competition. I do believe that that is also by Saint Saëns as well, one of his violin sonatas. So I'm guessing that for this second round of the competition, the criteria is to play a piece by Saint Saëns. Generally speaking, you'll probably have more options than that, but then again, I'm not sure how exactly rigid or how advanced this competition actually is, considering it's only a mid-school competition, if you will. But in any case, that's in terms of the music part. And so I guess next episode we'll see them actually perform the piece, introduction and Rondo Capriccioso. So that would be fun, right? Especially since apparently Kosei is just learning of it now, which I don't know. If he really was this kind of prodigy, as everyone said, wouldn't he have a bigger repertoire and probably would have this in his repertoire as well? I don't know. But in any case, we'll see next episode how exactly it goes, right? Um, and so moving on, that's the music part. Let's move on to the characters, right? So we do learn a little bit more of the backstory and some quirky, some interesting stuff in regards to Kosei and to Kaori as well, right? So in terms of Kosei's condition, I definitely feel like that is more of a mental thing rather than an actual illness or ailment concerning his hands or whatnot. It's probably all mental. And I guess we'll probably still I'm still at a loss as to I'm not quite sure what exactly is triggering this. I thought it was because the pressure or whatnot from his mother, and so maybe the expectations of living up. I mean, maybe the pressure of living up to her expectations is eventually got to Kosei, especially since his mother passed away later. So maybe he feels like in some way that's his fault? Question mark. I don't know, but I guess that's something that we will continue to learn about, and probably the deciding factor to heal him or to cure him of this would be Kaori, right? It's already kind of referenced here with Kosei saying he's down like deep in the ocean, no light whatsoever. So I'm assuming that Kaori is going to be this sort of light that brings him back to the surface, if you will. We got that nice analogy going there. But beyond that, probably even more interesting. I'm not even sure if interesting um is the correct word to use here, but Kaori's condition, right? So definitely, stop making a stop at a hospital that generally does not end well, right? It's either, it implicates one of two things. It's either Kaori herself or one of her close family members, right? And, combined with how desperate that Kaori seems to want people to listen to her music, I'm saying that the implication there is probably more towards the former, right? Um, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I feel like I have a pretty good expectation of what's going to happen already just from this episode. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but I think I got a pretty good hunch about this part. But I guess on a more just to move to top the conversation away from that. I'm personally more interested in whether or not she actually approached Kosei deliberately, if you will. So it wasn't a coincidence that and the entire thing about having a crush on Kosei's friend or whatnot, the jock, is maybe just sort of like a cover story, a smokescreen, and actually she is interested in Kosei. Um, at least that's what I would infer from this, anyways. Or there wouldn't be a need to go through this roundabout way, right? And even trying to pretend that she doesn't know him when she first meets him. So I feel like that is probably more of the part that I want to guess at. Really, the guess I want to do is, or the prediction I want to do is in regards to the title of the story, right? Your Lie in April. What exactly is the lie being told? you know, beyond Kari or her family's condition or whatnot. I feel like maybe her meeting with Kosei is definitely not due to chance, if you will. So, there we have it. That's all I have for this episode. So again, still, I'm loving the animation style. I'm loving the background music as well. It's very beautifully composed. And I did say last episode that I would probably be doing 2 episodes back to back each week. I later thought about it a little bit, and I decided not to do that. I'm still going to try to upload 2 episodes per week, but they'll probably be staggered, so not back to back. I feel like this leaves a little bit more flexibility for what I want to do. But in any case, as I said, I will try to make at least 2 uploads, 2 videos of this series per week. Subject to change depending on my schedule, right? Anyways, so there we have it. That was episode 3 of Your Lie in April, so I will see you guys next time. Till then, bye bye.